though that's not an exclusive Sony IP, Lara Croft has been kind of like brand identified with Sony for a long time. Oh, speaking of identified with Sony, I think Metal Gear Solid 3 we'll see today because they've shown it off before. Same with Parasite's Eve 2. But more so on the Metal Gear Solid side, it would be nice to see because I've always liked the MGS series, and before that, even the older Metal Gear games. But really, with Metal Gear Solid, I became a fan of Solid Snake and that whole mythos. Yeah, it's always safer to have your expectations a little bit tempered in reality. Maybe more so with PlayStation than with Nintendo because I think that there are more fun things to get excited about during a Nintendo show because there are more IPs that have been around longer that are bigger and more excitable than what Sony has to offer. Whereas Sony does have to rely on more third parties, but those third parties could be having their own show at Ubisoft. They could be at Summer Game Fest. They could have their own thing later on. You know, Sounds- yeah, forgot what that one was called, but no, there's a few. I think we all owe it to E3 for giving us this many years worth of summers that have made us as an industry expect something, because they were so consistent for so many. E3 used to be in May, by the way. Yeah, and then it got pushed to June. But E3 back in the day was a May event. Or did I get that backwards? No, yeah, yeah. It was May back in the day, and then got pushed to June. So right in that time frame, though, we get this Nintendo Direct, a Sony thing, a Microsoft thing, like you said, a Cozy thing, Ubisoft thing. That's right. Long opening. Kingdom Hearts 4. That's a good guess right there. Maybe. We have a 10-second countdown to get to a 30-second countdown. Oh, maybe we'll get one more. Yeah, it's one of their internal studios. Yeah, it's got that Guardians of the Galaxy vibe. Mm, that's clear. Hmm. This is a pretty cool world. Yeah. No, I like the characters. Depending on what type of game it is from a control point of view, is it an action adventure? A shooter? some Destiny elements. I mean, since they put that much effort into the CGI trailer, I'm guessing it's a story-based game, but the gameplay looks a little bit different than how I thought. I was more excited earlier. Yeah, yeah. They did say they will be having continuous storylines develop, but I'm more in I mean, I'll play it, but it's like it's a game that I would rent. Like, I would try it out, but mm, okay, could be. Mhm. PlayStation games are coming to PC more frequently and with less time in between their original release. Yeah, I mean, that's good for a different audience. It's like a Destiny Warriors, Shogun Warriors. Dynasty Warriors is good, but I got spoiled. Once you put Hyrule in there, like, oh, I'm so down with Hyrule Warriors or or Fire Emblem Warriors. Mm. Mm. It's alright. Some of these games that I have to go hands-on with, play and see a little more, you know? Mm. Something weird looking. Yeah, like a anteater head, Skydance's behemoth. Yeah, I think that guy's gone. Yeah, Alien, for sure. Yeah, it's quite a bit to get into, and I think they lose some interest by the fact that it does not play PS4 VR games. Alright, let's see. Yeah, you do win me over with the Marvel intrigue factor because I love my Marvel superheroes. Uh, Destructible environments, that's pretty cool too. Got a few different branches of Marvel characters. Spider-Man, some X-Men, some Guardians. Yeah, it is Overwatch with Marvel characters. Mm, yeah. Hmm. Story-based or online squad team kinda game? Hmm. Yeah, it's like they know that Onimusha is successful or Ninja Gaiden is successful, but those games had some special sauce to them. So let's try to replicate that and make a lot of games like that, but then you end up with something that's a bunch of things that are too samey and not diverse enough in their genres and their visual looks and stuff. And it's like, oh, Overwatch was a popular party-based shooter. Well, let's just make a lot of things like that. And uh, good in some ways, but yeah, not diverse enough. In other words, hmm. I mean, if you like Diablo, if you want to give it a play something comparable, a twisted town full of tortured souls, demons, monsters. Started off with zombies and then got pretty different over the years. Remake of part 2 back in the day, or maybe like a Final Fantasy remake kind of thing where it's a reimagining. That's a big one. The models look really good on the monsters. This is a game that will probably be on Nintendo Switch too, because Monster Hunter World was built too early with Nintendo Switch in mind, and then, Capcom was an important part of Nintendo Switch's development. It goes back to that rumor, have a 4 gigabyte console instead of 3. So Capcom was pretty early on Nintendo Switch, and they took a chance and made Monster Hunter Rise from the ground up for the system, and it did really well. Then it got ported to, PlayStation and Xbox. But this will probably launch on all three at once. Hmm. Oh, wait. Yeah. See, this looks different than everything else that we've seen. Yeah, this is their Super Mario Odyssey, you know? Mhm. Oh, R Rafa. Yeah, and now showing off the PS5 Pro. Looking like King Kong, octopus. This looks cool. These are Super Mario Odyssey bosses. I mean, this is got a little Star Fox elements in there. Even the Deku Tree. I think it's like this is the game for this is for the Nintendo fan that they want to play on PlayStation. This isn't really for the modern PlayStation fan, I don't think. The modern PlayStation fan is very different than the PlayStation fan of, like, the PS1, 2 era. September, sweet, that's coming out in just a few months. Yeah, that was good. Okay, like I was saying, here's all these games, but I could have told you probably not one of those that I was calling out will be shown, you know? Wolverine too early, Spider-Man maybe, but not. And then all of the other ones were like wishful thinking of, "Oh, how about a new Ghost of Tsushima or a look at this?" Like, nah. Astrobot, Super Mario 3D World. Yep, yeah. I mean, we had, like, a little Kratos skin that they showed off. I saw Alloy in there. Uh, which one? Horizon? Yeah, she was in there. I mean, we'll see how it's received. Oh, I saw, Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Yeah. We'll see how it's received, but it looks like a good game. I mean, the mini game demo, I mean, it was a game. It was just a small game that came out, with the system bundled in. That was a really good quality product. I mean, the controller felt good, the gameplay was nice, it was smooth, the loading was not there, really. Uh, I was very impressed with the studio and kind of wanted more, and this is pretty sweet. Little nod. Let's see. Anyone else in the end recognizable? Astrobot's Playroom? Astrobot Astrobot. Yeah. Concord could have been my favorite if it looked and played the way that, Guardians of the Galaxy did. I don't know if you played Guardians of the Galaxy that came out a few years ago. It's on Nintendo Switch, but you have to only play via cloud, uh, and it's on Xbox, Series PS5. But that was a really good game. I enjoyed that Guardians quite a bit. Felt very much like a Spider-Man game, but different because it's not really open world in its nature and its setup. If that was like that, that might have been my pick for the show, but it wasn't. So it's really easy. It was Astro for me. Yeah, Astrobot. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I mean, we're so fortunate in today's day and age to get these kind of presentations. So I don't think one is ever bad. Now, bad to me is a 3 out of 10 because I say that mediocre is 5, and 6 is fair, and 4 is poor, and 7 is good, and 4 is and 3 is bad, and 8 is great, and 2 is awful, and 9 is excellent, and 1 is horrible, and 10 is perfect, and 0 is completely unplayable. Doesn't work. That's how I go. 5 and then between 10 and 1, or 0. So to me, uh, grade wise in school, I would give it a C because a C in school means mediocre, but a C is also like a 75. Now, if you go on my scale of 1 through 10, I would give it a 5, or 0 through 10, I'd give it a 5, but 5 isn't supposed to be an F. No, because a 5 in school is an F. A 5 in my scale, which I think is how things, should be seen, is a C. So if that helps, that's kind of what I give it. Yeah, skim through. Or maybe 6. Maybe above mediocre. Yeah, 6 out of 10, a C at the end of the day, above mediocre, but that's fine. Mm, yeah, yeah, mhm, yeah, yeah, yeah. Es Pokemon Frenda. Here's the gameplay loop. Stick buddy. Wait, they did they're a publisher, like, they didn't develop, but they published a No More Heroes, um, Daemon X Machina on Nintendo Switch, Harvest Moon and Fortune Street. I mean, you wanted variety. You got a 2 here's your 2D action side-scrolling platformer to satisfy your Silk Song needs. You just saw Pokemon Frenda to satisfy your next gen Pokemon needs. You need some coins. Your Animal Crossing, top down. You had, Celeste was the one from earlier. Oh, Rune Factory too. Mhm. They're an anime studio and a publisher and a developer, and yeah, there's been several Rune Factories. I don't know what number they're on though. 5? 5! Come on, 6. Here's your action adventure game. Yeah, mixed with some music, rhythm stuff. Looking very different than what we saw earlier. Mhm. Yeah, it's very reminiscent of Doom. Ah, it's Daemon X Machina, Titanic Scion. I was just talking about Daemon X Machina, but what for what platform? Because that was the interesting. Oh, interesting. Because that was a Nintendo Switch exclusive when it launched back in 2018, maybe? This Battlefield and yeah, that could very well be a Nintendo Switch 2 game, Titanic Scion. A sequel of some sorts or just a different game? Mhm. That flew by. Yeah. I'll be going to Summer Game Fest, so I mean, I could. I'm gonna go have some fun. Last year was fun. Um, yeah, I met some good people, and I enjoyed the show. Hopefully, this year is also good. I might. Last year, I mean, yeah, usually a T-shirt. Last year, I had a Mortal Kombat T-shirt on because I knew that Ed Boon was going to be there, and they were going to have a big Mortal Kombat 1 thing, and so when I met Ed, it was cool because all the years I've been to E3s, that's someone who I just never bumped into, so it's neat to finally meet him. And then the Mario jacket and pants I wore because I just it's like the perfect outfit for an event like that. Sweet. Yeah, that'd be good. Uh, the Marvelous one kind of piqued my interest with, even though I was sort of having fun going like, "Well, there's your Mario, there's your platformer, there's your, um, like, the Silk Song one." It actually looked like a pretty good show. Maybe if you could understand Japanese, it's a little bit better, so, I don't know, it's a C plus day. The PlayStation one specifically, I give it a C too, and it's not a bad thing, just it wasn't great. It was okay, good, kind of, okay. Yeah. Mm, yeah. Oh, yeah. Designing a show so the trailers flow well into each other, when to have person on screen presence to break up trailer after trailer, when to talk, the length of the trailers, not putting too many samey ones close to each other. Gameplay ones versus CG ones. Ones coming out now versus first looks at ones coming out in the future, like 2025s and beyond. Yeah, it's all important. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone.